What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
This is season 2, episode 41. And first off, before I even introduce myself for the show, I gotta say, this show is dedicated to Juan, Pablo Tafolla, Spider, Spidey, Pews, Lil Dreamer, however you knew him. Rest in peace. Happy birthday, Pablo. You're my motherfucking brother, my best friend, my dog, my homie, a fucking inspiration, and somebody who really was a pivotal figure and monumental figure in my life and in many people's lives. In this episode, we're going to tell the story of Pablo Tafolla and some of the fucking shit that I got to observe him do in his lifetime, all within his first 20 years of life. He passed away at 20 years old. Today would be yesterday actually would be his 35th birthday. And me and the homies are going to gather up and celebrate on the weekend. So I just want to say, rest in peace. Happy birthday to Pablo Tafolla. Shout out to the whole Tafolla family. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. It's, you guys know what it is. You know what I mean? There's, you guys know what it is. And if you don't, holler. So, what up, everybody? Welcome. This is the Damn Dude podcast, where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
We're really here to help bring a whole bunch of different fucking contexts and perspectives to life and conversation, because I believe that the more context and perspective we have access to, the better off and easier life is, and the more enjoyable and funner it is. It's easier to navigate difficult situations when we have access to different contexts that exist. You know what I mean? So I'm your host, California Cal. I'm not one of those Californians. Come from the old school of this California type shit, not this new wave of like whack ass men can get pregnant and women aren't women and men aren't men and da 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 da. Now, don't get it twisted. I like, if you're trans, if you're whatever, if you're gay, whatever, cool, do your fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? But the reason the word trans exists is because it implies that you're doing something that's out of the ordinary of man and woman. You're taking it and you're twisting it, and that's why that word exists. So that's cool. But it's like, you have man, you have women, you got trans, you got all these other things, and that's fine. But the thing here is, we can't twist it all up and be like, nope, that's fucking fact now. It's like, no, it's just not. You know what I'm saying? Just because you feel like that, we can't, like, feelings, your feeling about something isn't the fact about something. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, they're pretty fucking different. So, so I want to get into this episode and just like, this one's going to be a little bit different than we've ever done before. And I have no set way of how I want to make this episode work. But the thing is that like, I got fucking sick, so I just stayed home today. That's why I sound like this. I didn't just like magically like grow some fucking chest hair and get a deeper voice. But we might be a little all over the place on this one. Excuse me. Or maybe not. I don't know why I said that. I think because when I put the notes down, it occurred to me as all over the place in the moment. Anyways, I'm going to paint a picture of who I was and who I am, which led to me meeting Pablo and led to the introduction of who he was and how he met all the homies and how everything came to be. So this is pretty entertaining, to be honest. First of all, I hope you guys did your music homework from last week. I don't know why. It's like, I enjoy music, but I realized that a lot of the music that I enjoy, the songs aren't popular and only people from like certain areas know this music. So I'm like, dude, why not just put it out there? And it's like, give the music and all the shit that I like a chance to recirculate and kind of pop off again if it has the opportunity, you know? Excuse me. So that's why I hooked you guys up with that E40 song last time. Spitting. You know what I mean? That's a good song. Anyway, we'll lace you guys up with some music homework later on. We got some good ones, or we got a good one, I should say, because this song was Pablo's song. He used to bump this song, and it's from where he's from, what he was about, who he knew, and all this shit. So it's dope. It's some real San Diego gangster shit. Like, people get it twisted. Oh, San Diego, you're whatever. Yeah, we are that. We're nice. It's friendly. It's chill. You can fucking go eat a burrito, smoke some weed, go to the beach, go fucking skateboarding, whatever the fuck you want to do, right? That's cool. That's fine. Come here, do whatever the fuck you want. You could be boisterous. You could be like a New Yorker, an LA person, whatever, talk your shit, whatever. That's cool. If you're not being like directly disrespectful, we're cool. That's fine. San Diego people were chill as fuck in general. At the same time, don't get it twisted. People here will stand for themselves in when needed. And the fuck am I saying? When I say this, I mean people like really, really from here. Like, if you don't know what I mean by that, or that doesn't resonate with you and you're from here, then like you might not get what I'm talking about. But if that resonates already, you're like, oh yeah, I know that. And if you're in your own town and somewhere else, you could be in fucking Africa. We got listeners in Africa. What up to the people in Africa? I got family, I should say relatives in Africa. So what up? My point is though, excuse me. Fuck, man. Yeah, I'm just on a sick one. Sorry. Like, I'm sick as fuck, so my brain is just struggling, and I'm trying to do 100 different things today. Excuse me. Why am I talking about people in Africa and all of that? Oh, I know. So it's like, you know how people are where you're from. You know what I'm saying? And there's just a certain vibe and a whatever. And this breaks down into different categories and segments. Like, for example, I'm from San Diego, but it's like, I'm really from Mira Mesa.
I know Mira Mesa.
Mecca Town in this piece. Like, I am really, really from Mira Mesa. Like, granted, I'm also from Claremont. That's where I'm from originally when I was a baby. I was born in Claremont. I wasn't born in Claremont, but I'm from Claremont when I was a baby, I should say. I was born at Kaiser in fucking Mission Gorge back in the day. Anyway, Claremont, Mira Mesa, I've lived in IB, live in Poway, I've lived in Hawaii, I've lived in Temecula, I've lived in Marina Del Rey, a few different places, and I see how, even though, like, let's say, for example, IB, Mira Mesa, Poway, they're all, and even different parts of Mira Mesa, they're all in San Diego. For those of you not from here, these are different towns inside of San Diego. And then it can be kind of confusing because we have San Diego County, and then that switches. It's like, so, well, that's not technically San Diego, that's San Diego County, but it's not. Anyway. There's a different vibe from each town, and each town's got its thing, you know what I mean? And growing up in Mira Mesa in the 90s, it was mainly Asian gangs, but at the same time, there was Mexican gangsters, and there was like people of all different races. You had white gangsters, you had black gangsters, you had all different people. But the way that they did it, it was kind of more like my understanding of what a gangster was growing up was somebody who stands up for themselves and is willing to fight and has the best interest of the group at stake. To me, that's what a gangster was. Like, that was my example of gangsters. So when I speak on this, or I look at it, or whatever, I look back, being a gangster means something different to everybody. Well, to a lot of different people, you know what I mean? Even if you use the same words, it's still going to resonate with you slightly in your own way. You know what I mean? And I see that, like, the example of gangster that I had in my life meant to stand up for yourself. It meant to protect yourself and to protect your people. Because where I grew up, it's mainly Asians. It's an Asian town. And what I saw was like, all right, like, we come together. How I first saw it was like the immigrant kids they would group together because it's like they had trouble speaking English and they had a certain way of dressing and a certain way of kind of hanging out and all of this. And I'm like, and a certain way to protect their pride and to protect their family and their friends and the like people. So I see that and I'm like, damn, that's tight. Like, I see the respect that exists inside of it. I don't see like my example of Gangster, again, this is just mine. I didn't see people as people. I didn't see gangsters as people who were bad people. I saw them as people who were warriors. The same way that we see like warriors or we see our military in present day. You know what I mean? It's like, think about back in the day when there was no military and it's just like you had to fight for yourself or your clan or your family or your tribe. And it was like you were a warrior. You weren't quite a soldier. You were a warrior, meaning you fought for your own shit. Like you really went and handled your fucking business. And it didn't really matter what the fuck it looked like or about the colors or the this or the that. It was more just like you were a warrior and you fought for what was right. You know what I mean? A warrior doesn't go out just killing to kill. A warrior fights for what's right. And that's what makes it distinct between a warrior versus a fucking soldier versus a fucking killer or a criminal. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. I just thought of that right now. But like, I grew up with that. And I'm that type of person that like, I won't give up. And to me, that's gangster. Like, I won't quit. I'll keep going. I'll fucking try again. Like, that's gangster. I'll stand up for my people and I'll stand up for what's right. I'll look fucking crazy if I have to. That's gangster. Now, granted, I get that this isn't how the word works everywhere. But for me, that's what it always meant. So I never identify myself as a gangster because I recognize how this really works. It wasn't something that I was just like interested in. Like a lot of people, they were just interested in gangs and they thought rap music was cool and they thought music videos were cool and they thought the culture was cool. And what happened was, is like that caused a lot of people. Like if you look at now, like the average like white boy R&B singer talks like how a gangster would talk way back in the day. Like no like white dude would be like, oh, what's up, homie? You wouldn't say that wasn't a thing back in. I mean, like it was, you had that, but it wasn't like how it is now. Like you wouldn't just be some regular dude saying it. You know what I mean? Like you would be a thugged out ass white dude if you were to talk like that. Like, and I don't know. It's like you hear comedians and whatever, and it's like the way they talk now. It's like, oh, what up, dog? Oh, come on, dog. Like that was like that back in the day was how like gangsters spoke. You know what I mean? It was like how thug people spoke. Like in my experience, in my examples. But now it's like you hear and you see this everywhere and it's a trip. And it's kind of like, wow, it's kind of gotten like, became this cool thing. But a lot of people thought it was cool or sought it out. In my example, I did think it was cool. And maybe I did seek it out. I don't know. But my point is that I kind of didn't really have a choice. It was what was around me and it was what resonated with me and it was what I recognized. I was in 4th grade when I first started seeing and hanging around the older kids and some of the gangsters. And it was like, I was at the end of 3rd grade, I would sneak over to the 4th grade side. And then in 4th grade, I was just around. And I was doing a bunch of shit that nobody knew I was doing. And like, it was just, I was just out, just absorbing, just soaking up game and just, you know, like E40 says, I'm soaking up game. I'm seeing how it's done. Like, that's what I was doing. I was just soaking up game. I'm just seeing how it's done. So, like I said, in my example, in Mira Mesa, the gangsters, they weren't criminals. They were people who stood up for themselves and their community. That's why in our community in Mira Mesa, we didn't tag up the walls. We didn't tag up the fucking things. Like, yeah, it would happen here and there. But most of the time, it was somebody not from there that was doing that shit.
I know Mira Mesa.
And it's like, if you can read tagging and you can read gang writing and you can read all that shit, then it just tells you also. You know what I'm saying? It's like most people, they just see like, why is that letter crossed out? Why is there a 3? Why is there a 2? You know, it's like, why is there a 1 next to it? Why is it? And it's like, if you can read it, then you could read it, and you're just like, oh, that's homeboy such and such. You cross that out because that letter is the first letter of their opposing set, but that's the last letter of his own name, so it crossed it out. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, oh, why did he add a K to the end of it? It's like, come on, bro, this is basic gangbanging, like 101. Like, bro, like, cross it out and put a K. It's like, it's just like killer. So it's like they tag their crew, boom, K next to it, killer. Like, I just killed your shit and I'll kill you. It's like, that was kind of how that art, I guess, works. But my point is, though, is like, the people that I had modeled this gang shit was people who stood up for what was right. And that was my example of what it meant to really be gangster. Now, it got all fucked up later on. It was around when, like, the rapper Fabulous came out that it all got twisted. That was when, like, it was around that time when, like, gangbanging, like, was at the height of being commercial. And then people were doing it all wrong. Like, if you go and watch those old Cash Money videos, they're wearing blue rags and red rags in, like, different scenes. And then they're wearing, like, they got their fucking red rag on the left side of their fucking pocket. Like, bro, what are you doing? And it was just all backwards. They had no clue what they were doing. And Fabulous was wearing red and blue at the same time. It was just like this big fuckery. And a lot of people took it as that and didn't understand the reality of the shit and what it really, really, really meant and came from in each community. Because why sets and gangs form in each community is for a different reason than the next. You know what I'm saying? If you just formed it based off of rap music or somebody else's beef from fucking 30 years ago, you're stupid. Like, that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even get it if that's what's happening. But if you're really there and you're really part of it and that's like your life, that's all you know in cases, you know? Excuse me. And it's just kind of interesting how many people don't understand how and why real gang culture works, not the glorified like TV, radio, music version. But it's fascinating because like the general like, oh, he's a gangster, boom, 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 like no, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong. It is, but it's not. Like, where it's birthed from is not like that. What it's evolved into has kind of turned into that. So you got people out careless and fucking just being violent and ruthless for no real reason. So the reason I explain all of that is to lead me to this, which is that's where I come from with this gangbanging shit. Like I said, I'm not a gangster. I was never a gangster. I was never part of a gang. I knew people. I hung around people. I was around it. So growing up, I'm maybe like, 12, 13 years old? Maybe 13. And I see this fucking essay around the corner by the pool. And I'm like, who the fuck is this for? And he looks at me kind of like with the same look, like, what's up, homie? Like, and it's like, that's my fucking neighborhood, bro. Like, dude, I could pull like right now 30 people, and we got way more than that, who know what the fuck is up with Canis Lane and Scorpius, like in the 90s. That shit was so lit. Everybody would come around there, but it's like we lived there. And we knew every person that fucking walked by, walked through, everything. Like we were outside constantly, nonstop, like dozens of us all the time. Like there is no replicating how the fuck it was back. Like it was some other shit, right? So I see Pablo and that's who it is. And it's like, I'm like, this guy's looking like unfamiliar and uncomfortable, but comfortable. And like, he's trying to get familiar. So I was kind of like, all right, like, I remember I approached him kind of hard, like, what's up, homie? And he hit me up like that too. He's like, hey, what's up, homie? Blah, blah, blah. My name's Pablo. And he just went off on this whole fucking thing. Like, hey, they call me Pablo. They call me Spider, blah, blah, blah. KBS, walk down, da, 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 da. I was just like, oh, shit. I was like, so what's up? And he's just like, shit, so what's up? I was like, and we kind of like, we both realized in that moment, like, we didn't want to fight. And we didn't really want it. We didn't want problems with each other either. And that fool knows I would have beat him up. No, I'm just kidding. Yo, every time me and Pablo would box, the way it would work is I would win, he would win. 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 And that was every time we ever fucking boxed or wrestled or slap boxed. That's how the fuck it happened. Like every single time was like, I win, he win. I win, he win. We can never say who was better. I still think I was better. But yo, so excuse me. I'm realizing, dude, like as I get older, there like a lot of people take me as just some like broed out, like, oh yeah, dude, like I am. At the same time, it's like people recognize the gangster that's in me too. Like I said, I'm not a gangster, I'm not a gangbanger, but you know what I'm saying in this context. And it's like when you meet somebody else, you see it, you recognize it. It's like when you come from a similar place, like you can recognize that. And I feel really blessed and fortunate to come from a place with many different experiences and cultures and people to where it's like I get to recognize that commonly around. It's like, for example, if you grew up going to the desert out here, you and whoever that person is, if you grew up doing that, you can absolutely talk and vibe for fucking hours. It does not matter. You guys can talk and vibe for hours. You can disagree about politics. You can disagree about fucking life and abortions and food and health and fucking Chevy, Ford, Toyota. You can disagree about everything. And you can have a peaceful conversation with that person for hours that's entertaining and engaging and fun. It's just like that. It's the same way when you meet somebody and you got that gangster shit. Like you come from seeing and knowing that gangster shit and you see they got that. It's like, yo, I see you, gangster. Like I can just tell by the way you move. You know what I mean? Like for example, there's a lady in my business group. She's probably like same age as me. Maybe, yeah, she's probably like same age. But like I see it. I've been meaning to go call it out, but like, which I kind of have a little, but it's just the way shit works, whatever. But I was like, yo, you know what's up. You know what I mean? And it's like, you say that and the other person already knows what that means. And so what happened was when Pablo and I met, we're walking, we're right next to the pool. Because there's a community pool around in the middle of the whole neighborhood. So we're like, and there's like a community pool and like a park. And that was like, it's kind of like this little alleyway. So you can kind of hang there and like do whatever. Like it was a safe place to kind of just like be like a bad kid or whatever. Like, because like a car or whoever couldn't, like you could escape from either side out into like a bunch of different streets. So it was like if somebody came one way, you just go the other way. If somebody came that way, you go the other way. And if people came from both sides, you could just literally run like another direction. It was just, I don't know how to explain it. If you know what I'm saying? But so I remember we were just there and like there was just this respect. And he was like, shit, so what you want to do, homie? I was like, fuck, I don't know, bro. Like, let's fucking go swimming. He's like, shit, all right. And then he runs over to the house across the street. I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, what are you doing at that house? He's like, see, I kind of live here. He's like, my grandma lives here and my mom stays here and my uncles and this and that. I was just like, word? Like, so you live here? He's like, kind of. He would come like every other like weekend or it's something like that, right? I forget exactly, but he would come. Like the first time I met him, it was like he was there and gone and there and gone. And then the next summer that came around, he was there for like the whole summer. And I was like, yo. And from that day forward, me and him just started kicking it tough, dude, like every single day. So then the next year is like we go to high school. I'm like 14 or something like that. Or it's high school years. I'm kicked out of school. I'm going to homeschool at this time for my freshman year. And Pablo's in and out of school, in and out of jail this whole time. And we fucking, like I said, we're kicking it tough, dude. Like, we're not really getting into anything. We're just going to the pool, fucking barbecuing and just doing funny shit, talking to the girls in the neighborhood. Like, just just having fun, being silly and shit on some like summertime kid shit. And we weren't getting into fights. We weren't getting into none of that. It was just like we were having fun. And it was like, I feel blessed because I got to see this side of him where he was like kind of a kid still, but he was already grown up. He had seen some shit already. Like the stories he would tell me, he told me his best friend died in his arms when like he was a kid and like just bled out in his arms, like in the street. Like, I forget if he got shot or stabbed, but it was crazy, dude. But like Pablo's spirit and resilience was just like, he would take everything and use it as, he wouldn't make any meaning of it. He would just be like, he would feel it, be like, fuck, shit. All right, homie. And then he would get back on his shit and do his thing. And his spirit was of something else. Now, I realize I just gave this whole long background story. I was talking about myself a lot, but we're going to shift this over. And it's like, I needed to explain that for all the rest of this to make sense. So we're going to take a quick break. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Except you son of a bitch. It's finger licking, farmer dipping, finger fucking, finger dicking, dicking, flipping, ficking, chicken, frogging, dogging, hogging, flogging, Fred. And I've come to deliver a message to y'all. A message that's of epic proportions. A message that's more important than this background music. A message that's more important than you've got mail. A message so important. I hope you're sitting down. That message is, my friends and folks, don't believe. Oh, bitch. Have gratitude. Have a good attitude. Do what's good and do what's right. Especially when no one's looking. This is finger dipping, finger licking, farmer dicking, fipper ficking, chicken dicking, flipping frickin', frogging, hogging, sliming, stunning, cooping, tining, turpentine, sliding, dipping, dodging, Fred.
Damn, dude.
Oh, what up, everybody? Welcome, Bicycle. Hope you guys had a nice little intermission break there. And hope you guys remember count your blessings, man. So, anyways, let's keep moving right along here. Fellas and fillets. If I say fillets, is that offensive to women fish? Or I don't know. Oh, funny. So you guys, hold on one sec. Right there. Oh, no, whoa. Don't do that. Come on, Chuck. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to fix something on my... 1 second too late. I'm trying to get this lined up for our music homework when it comes. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm being obnoxious right now. So, whatever. Okay. So, dude. So, like, to me... talking about like what does it mean like basically to be a real gangster, and like I just explained, that was what it all meant to me. So then we fast forward, I recognize Pablo, I see that in him where it's like, yo, people ain't fucking with me and people ain't fucking with you, and the reason people ain't fucking with you is because they're not fucking with me. And like that was kind of the vibe that we were on, you know. And like I realized I just realized this right now, a lot of my like oldest friends, like a lot of my my oldest and best friends, the one thing we have in common, I just realized this right now, is like sense of humor for sure, but on another level than that is all of us have this like don't fuck with me thing about us in our own way. And whether that be like, yo, I'm gonna fucking flip out and start yelling at your ass, or I'm gonna just fucking punch your ass, or I'm not gonna say anything and just collect evidence and then come back and fucking dump it on you, or it's like however the fuck, you know, we kind of each have our own like don't fuck with me in our own way that we fight. Meaning what I was trying to say is like a fight that doesn't have to be words, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like use your skill, you use your grit and your that perseverance that exists, you know? So yeah, none of us are like tough guys, but like at the same time, none of us take shit either, you know? Not saying like, yeah, we've never been punked or some shit. Like shit happens, you know what I mean? Fuck, we've all been punked. If you can say you've never been punked, like, I don't know if I believe you, like, truly. Like the hardest dudes I know have gotten punked before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just happened. Whether it was once or fucking something or, you know, it exists. So, there's something I want to say about Pablo, which is, you know, he might be one person that never got punked. Like, nah, because he got punked in his own ways by, like, his family or his mom or brothers or whatever, you know, like, that type of shit, which is good for you. In ways, you know. So I want to paint this picture, like the reason Warrior resonates so tough with me. I got Warrior tattooed on my hand, and it happens to be that like Ultimate Warrior is my favorite wrestler, and I've always just been like thought that it was so cool, just the idea of a warrior. You know, thinking about it's like one of my. Like I really like fuck it resonates with me a lot. Like there's this Crazy Bone song where it's just where the hook of it is like walk like a warrior, and like I don't know what it is. It's just he's kind of saying it in this like tribal sort of way, and I'm just like fuck, this is sick, dude. Like it's just always resonated with me. Whenever I see that, there's something that speaks to me about warrior. And the last time I went and did ayahuasca ceremony in Peru. My homie David, what up, David? Much love to you, brother. I love you always, dude. You are a fucking incredible human being, dude. But I saw him as a warrior in armor, and he saw me as a warrior in armor, and both of us were resting, and we both saw each other resting, and then during the ceremony, we saw each other like, it was like, I don't know, we went on a journey of like fighting through different shit, and it's like standing for what's right. And it was like, hold on, how is it that we could have love for all different beings and at the same time go and fight? You know what I mean? And be willing to kill for what's right. You know what I mean? Meaning it's like, I'm a fucking soldier, I'm a warrior. Like I'm going to fight for what's right in that sense, you know, metaphorically. And it's like, if you are willing to die for what your shit is, it's like, that's kind of in the same thing, you know? But anyways, my point is, that's a whole nother, like, trippy topic I could go off on a whole fucking thing, which, yeah, I'll save that for another time. Anyway, so I recognize that in Pablo, and Pablo is I believe is one of my angels, one of my spirit guides who would help guide me for so many years and just help lead me. And so I'm asking like, well, what is it that, when is it okay to fucking hurt another person? And it's like, well, if they're trying to do harm to you or somebody who's innocent or lesser or weaker, then it's okay to go protect them. Now, the measure is to not go overboard and beyond what's necessary to stop the person from being a threat.
Damn, dude.
And I heard that from SN Goenka, who I consider an enlightened person or being. Rest in peace to him. Or maybe not even rest in peace. He's probably on some fucking crazy journey in some spiritual world. But anyway, even he said, and I look up to him and I would consider him a really good teacher of mine. He said, yo, like, it's not okay to hurt people, but it is okay to hurt people. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like the most peaceful dude ever. But what he's talking about is like, it's okay to protect somebody. Sometimes to protect the innocent or the weaker, it requires you being a standing force to stop that person from being a threat when they're not in the right mind, when they're lacking judgment or in a different mindset or whatever the case may be, right? It's like intervening and understanding. Like if you introduce a dog to a cat and it's the first time they've met and they're both already old, their instinct is to be like, fuck you, you know, and to like go at it. It's like we can't be mad, so rather as responsible people, we introduce them safely and smartly and responsibly. I see that kind of as the same thing as like if it comes to some sort of needing to take action to defend yourself or protect somebody, you know, or to protect your space. And Pablo was the absolute fucking embodiment of being that type of person. He spent literally like half of his life in jails or facilities or correctional facilities or whatever the fuck, juvenile hall, all that shit. And it wasn't because he was a bad person. It wasn't because he was a bad kid. It wasn't because he did bad stuff. It was because he was always fucking going out on the furthest limb to help people. And it's like what that would look like was like he would go and help fight a fight for you. He would go and back you up. He would go and like, if he understood you couldn't fight, he would make you show up there and he'd be like, look, I'll handle this fool for you, but you have to fucking stand there and talk and whatever, but I got your back. And it was like, he was empowering people. There was so many different people. There was this kid named Werewolf Kid. I think I've talked about him before on the show. He was getting thrown in trash cans literally by these kids, by like 8 to 12 kids. And Pablo went and stood up for this kid all by himself in the middle of the school hallway by himself just because it was the right thing to do. And he didn't give a fuck if 8 people beat him up or 12 people or however many people. True story. And like from there on, like Werewolf Kid had a different fucking thing about him. You know, he's like, holy shit, like, wow. You know, it gave him some sort of confidence and some sort of courage in this way where it's like, dang, not only does somebody have my back and does another person care about me, but that person put their life on the line for me. Like, holy fuck, you know, like the least I could do is stand up for myself now to some degree. And I feel bad because Werewolf Kid, he got it bad, like from a lot of different people. And I encouraged some shit for a while. I don't remember why we didn't like this kid. I think he said some fucked up stuff online or something to us. And to us, this was before like talking shit online was like a thing. Like it would like if you talk shit to me online, I will beat you up at school the next day. It was like there would be a fight. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't just talk shit and then not get beat up for it. Like creating fake accounts and all that shit. Like it wasn't even a thing yet. You know what I mean? Like people hadn't even the technology hadn't gone that far to. I mean, I'm sure some people have fake accounts, but like it was like whoever the fuck it was, you could like go and find them and be like, they'd be like, I'm sorry, or they'd be like, fuck you, or like whatever the case was, right? And there was multiple fights that me and different people that I knew had gotten into because of people talking shit online. Like for us, it was like, this is real life. It's no different than if you called me on my phone and we're like, hey, fuck you, I'll fuck you up, which that used to be a thing, actually. I just realized that probably doesn't happen anymore. Dude, you would get a call, from somebody's jealous ex-boyfriend or some shit. It was always some fucking hella crazy Asian gangster dude who'd be like, hey, what's up, homie? You talking to my girl? I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, this shit was crazy for a while. And then have a blocked number and you couldn't call it back and all it was, or they'd be like, or they'd call you from an unblocked number and be like, sup, homie, this is blah, blah, blah. Like, and it was always like, you talking to my girl? And be like, bro, you guys broke up like fucking 2 years ago. Like, let the shit go, bro. Anyway. So Pablo was like this beacon of stand up for yourself, promoting like enforcement of what's right. And it was crazy because he was truly like this local, like neighborhood Robin Hood sort of dude. Now, granted, he would also accept fights way faster than like he probably should have. He was just so down. It was like, especially when he was younger, like as he started getting older, he started understanding like he didn't have to take every fucking threat as a fight or turn it into that or let it be that or whatever. Where it's like, bro, just fuck them, dude. Like, it ain't even worth it right now. Like, let's keep moving, homie. Like, but when he was younger, it was like he was so dedicated to being down that it was like, hey, fuck you, I'm from blah, blah, blah. He didn't give a fuck if there was 100 of you and one of him. He would rep his shit and he would fucking stand there proud and he would fight as many of the 100 as possible. And he would fucking go out like a soldier. For reals. Now, I got to experience this firsthand and I didn't know that I was so fucking down. Like, yo, Pablo had this heart that was of such a fucking courageous, brave warrior. I can't even like explain it, dude. It was so above and beyond anything I've ever seen or witnessed from another human being in this lifetime up till this point. Pablo died in 2006 and it's 2022 right now. And I still have not met another person who's just so like has the absolute highest level of integrity no matter how fucking dangerous the situation is. He was that guy, dude. Like, you could have literally followed him around with the camera and just made a whole fucking superhero movie. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm not kidding, and I'm not just hyping it up because he's my homie. He really was always looking to protect people. Potential threat, potential threat, potential threat. Like, he was like that. Like he was like the gangster SA Mexican version of like a police officer. Like, oh, he wouldn't be happy I said that, but he would get it after his feelings got hurt a little bit, and then he'd be like, the fuck, homie? He used to call me Coco. He'd be like, fuck, Coco, like, you like, you think I'm a fucking cop, homie? I'm like, no, bro, like, let me, like, listen. He's funny because his heart was so big that he was so sensitive also, though. Like, in a beautiful way, though. It was weird. Pablo was the hardest gangster. The hardest, the most down person I've ever fucking seen. To, like, just willing to protect. He wasn't out to do wrong or rob or steal or none of the shit. He was out to make sure that what was right fucking happened, and he would literally use his fucking hands to ensure that. Whether he knew he was going to lose the fight or not. So, like I said, like, dude, there was this time, and I'm pretty sure I've told this story on the pod before, but I got to tell it again because it's probably one of the craziest stories and things that's ever happened in my life. But, so, this is fucking crazy, dude. So, okay, so like I said, growing up in Mira Mesa.
I know Mira Mesa.
Mecca Town, it was mainly Asians. We had a lot of Asian gangs. We had other people too, right? Now, the Mexican gangs was like Pablo and a handful of his homies. And there wasn't a lot, right? And which was weird. Like, we're in San Diego, you'd think there'd be hella Mexican kids at our school, but there wasn't. It was, our town was fucking Asian, Filipino, Vietnamese as fuck. It was, so, I mean, we got our Mexicans, but it's like there wasn't a lot of them in school for whatever reason. But anyway, Pablo it was like Mexican Independence Day or something, and he's walking around with this gigantic Mexican flag on this stick, like a fucking huge one. Like, it was like bigger than than you could like carry. Like, you have to keep it waving in order to keep it from just like hanging all heavily down on the stick all awkwardly and your forearms get all pumped. And he was proud as fuck to be Mexican. He wasn't causing any trouble. He was just celebrating. It's just like, Viva la raza! Like, just going around and like, he was literally running around the school campus, just celebrating, being silly, just fucking, keep in mind, he's all like this loped out ass gangster ass looking essay. At the same time, he was so free to be himself and laugh and just fucking dance and express. And oh my gosh, dude, I need to get his poem book. So Pablo used to write poetry. It was beautiful, dude. And it was like I said, he had the biggest heart, meaning like with courage and bravery and love and feelings and intuition and just this absolute, like his spirit was so free. It was like no matter where you lock him up, no matter where you made him sleep, his spirit was just way fucking bigger than whatever box you put him in. And it still is, because he still lives on today. And like I said, it's like he just had heart, dude. Like if there was anybody who had heart, like that was one thing his uncle said at his funeral too, was like, yo, Pablo didn't leave us the gift of physical possessions behind when he passed. He left us the gift of his heart and his spirit and his soul. I got fucking children now. He left his message. He left his actions that he took in life. He left that here for us. He left his soul here. He left his lessons. He left his actions. He left his message and his footprint on a society and on so many people who, like, he helped so many people who didn't have a chance, and so many people who were just so scared. He was just such a protector and such a vibrant and deep individual that, like, I'll do whatever I can to make sure that his legacy lives on. And I know how to do that is through helping kids and through having these conversations and sharing these messages, and to just keep fucking doing this, you know? Pablo was just an absolute force and a warrior of a human being. He only lived 20 years, but it's like he made the impact of fucking generations. I make sure my kids know about him. I make sure all my little, like, nieces and nephews in my friend circle and family group and stuff, and whoever I come across them, make sure that they know him and they understand his legacy. And I'm going to make sure that goes on too, because also, like his uncle said at his funeral, is like, dude, to really know and see the real gift and beauty of Pablo was to see him interact with children. And as soon as he said that, I just broke down and just fucking started crying so much, dude. I'm just like, oh my God, like, that's my purpose in life. That's exactly it. I don't know what, why, or how, or what the fuck I'm going to do, but that is my absolute purpose in life. That's how I will honor Pablo's name. I know what it's like to lose a child in my family. Like, I lost my little sister before she was even 2 years old. She was just shy of 2 years old by like a couple months. So I've got to carry on, and I've got to do that. So it's like, I will do my best to be a warrior in this lifetime of love and what's right, and to protect and prepare people for dangerous situations, but in a way that they have fun and they don't even recognize that that's what's going on. I just want to be able to be somebody who's a dope ass person to the kids in this generation and the people that encounter me. I have to do it for Pablo. I have to do it for my sister. I have to do it for my grandma. I have to do it for my best friends. I have to do it for my homie John. I have to do it for Well, I mean, Stan, I have to do it for so many different people. I have to do it. It's for me, but those people have to live on through me. If other people aren't going to keep speaking their name and keeping them alive, I'm going to keep doing it. Because that's just what's fucking right. And I don't really know why. Like, I really don't know why. I don't know why this is the right thing to do, to keep fucking just doing this and having these conversations. I just know it is. And I know that Pablo would force me to keep going. Even as a fucking like 40-year-old man, I could see him fucking putting me in a headlock and make me keep doing what I know is right. And he recognized that in me. He would always tell me like, dude, he would tell me like, dude, like, you have a chance. You don't have to fucking do all this shit. You don't have to keep getting involved. You don't have to go deeper. Like, you have a lot of opportunity and you have so much potential. And I would hate when people would tell me I have so much potential, but when he would tell me it would resonate. There's a handful of other people that would tell me that it would resonate, and that when people see some sort of potential in you, like, you gotta honor that, man. Like, I mean, you don't have to, but it's wise to, you know? So I gotta do what I gotta do to fucking do good in this world and speak truth into this world. No matter how upset I get or what the fuck goes on, because I gotta keep going. And I'm gonna tell a story in just a second that really fucking goes into why it's important to keep going and how to. So I'm gonna take a quick break. 1 second.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? Welcome, Bicycle. So, whew, wowee. Wow, man. What a, man. Well, now what, guys? What do we do now? Anybody got anything to say? Like, oh, fuck, where do we go from here? Oh, man. Nah, this is why we keep it real as fuck, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, like, but I gotta tell this story, and it's like, excuse me, I didn't finish the flag story. What do you guys want to hear, the flag story or this deep story? Nah, we're gonna tell the flag story first because it happened first in the order that life occurred. We were younger when the flag story happened. We were older when the haunted jukebox incident, baby thing. Okay, anyway, hold on. So Pablo was carrying the Mexican flag around school, right? As I was saying, he had it on this big ass stick, waving it around all day, every class. And like, it was like, we would be like, I don't know. It's like back in the day, like in Mira Mesa, we said the word fool so much. And we still do. Like, damn, fool, what's up, fool? Like, yo, if you're really from Mira Mesa, fool comes out and you didn't even know what happened. Because, and it's not an insult. I remember, dude, the first time I was telling this story, me and my son Nate, we were doing something. And I met Nate when he was 8 or 9 years old. I always say 8, and he's like, bro, it was 9. And I don't know why in my head, I'm like, you were 8. But like when we do the math, he was 9. Whatever. Anyway, me and him did something. I forgot what it was. Or he did something that was like some knucklehead thing. He got in trouble or something. I forget what it was. We either did something cool or he got in trouble. And I was telling his mom, I was like, yeah, this fool did this, blah, 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 blah. And then she was like, what the heck? Like, don't call him that. I was like, what? She's like, you just called him fool? I was like, she's like, don't call him a fool. I was like, what? Like, I started cracking up. Excuse me. And she started getting upset, and I was like, dude, what? And is she like, not upset, but kind of like confused, more so, I should say, was the thing. She's like, what? And I'm like, dude, like, no, fool, that's just like, that means dude. I was like, where I come from, fool means dude. It means homie. It means bro. It means sis. It means unk. It could also mean like dumb shit. It could also mean whatever. It's like you could use for anything. You could be like, it's just, if somebody spilled something or knocked something over and you went, dude, that's like dumbass. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? That's like full. Like, you know what I mean? Or it's like, oh shit, what's up, fool? Like, damn, I haven't seen you in a minute. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, there's that fool. It's like, oh, look at this fool. Like, it's just, we use that word a lot in Mira Mesa.
I know Mira Mesa.
And why am I even going down that whole rabbit hole? So anyway, we used to be like, oh, there's the white fools over there, the white table, and it was like, because it was the football team was like, it was like, there wasn't a lot of white people at our school. There was like, all the white kids were on the baseball and football team, and they were the same kids. I'm not kidding though. That's funny. I just realized that, but that's true. Like, same kids that play baseball, the same kids that play football, the same kids that play basketball. Like, and they're cool. What up? Those are the homies, you know. But no. So it was a grade younger than me of football team, and all these white dudes on the team. There's like fucking 50 of them, and one of these fools starts spitting on Pablo's fucking gigantic flag. And Pablo's like, oh, hell no, blah, blah, blah. And like, they're going to get into it and everybody breaks it up. And because it's just at like lunchtime at school. And there's like literally thousands and thousands of kids. Like in our class, there's thousands of kids. In each class, there's several thousand kids. There's a ton of people at our school. So we go to fucking, Pablo's like, hey, yo, we got to go confront these fools. Like, we got to go fight these fools behind the bungalows after school next to Twain. Mark Twain is like the alternative school too. I'm like, all right, fucking whatever, homie, let's go. So we swoop up the homie Grumpy and the homie fucking Sleepy. Yes, these were my Mexican homies. But what up, Grumps? I still see this fool around every now and then. What's good, bro? If you ever listen to this. So, and there was another homie. I forget who it was, bro. And like literally, I forget. But there's 4 of us. It was Pablo, me, Grumps. Oh no. Yeah, that was it. Actually, there wasn't one more. Oh, the one more was my ex. She just stayed in the car the whole time though. But yeah, it was me, Grumps, and Sleepy, and Pews, and me, and we fucking show up, and it's me and fucking 3 of the SA homies. And we hop out, excuse me, and they all start taking fucking like tire irons and knives and all this shit and like throwing it in my car. And I was like, damn, like, all right then, like, that's cool. They're like, nah, homie, like, we're throwing down, bro. Like, we ain't trying to fucking go out like no punks. Like, fuck it, let's go, bro. And I hopped out. I was wearing fucking, like those for those of you who know what house slippers are, like the black ones with the like the ghetto ones, you know what I'm saying, that you wear with the tall ass white socks, like, and they're like slippery. Well, they have the slippery and the non-slippery ones, but at the time I had the slippery ones. And I hopped out and I was like, fuck, I'm about to have to fucking kick my shoes off and find my socks. And we jump out and fucking Pablo starts talking all this shit to them. He's like, what's up, homie? Like, what's up with that? You trying to spit on my flag? You fucking, you know, that's some racist ass shit, blah, blah, blah. That's straight disrespectful. He's like, that ain't cool with me. Like, we can go one-on-one. What's up? And it's like, what did Pablo used to say? I forget. But like, I don't know. But he'll be like, yo, what's up? Like, like we could throw ones, like we could square up, let's go. And they're just like, oh, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. They start talking all this shit. And then some other people start talking shit. And then we're like, all right, then what's up, homie? And then I see fucking Pablo spit straight in this fool's face. And I'm like, oh, the line was just crossed. Like, he's spitting the biggest football player dude's face. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, yeah, the line was just most certainly crossed. I like time froze for me, dude. It was like that Tupac image, that picture of Tupac where he's spitting and his like arms are out, when he's wearing the red, the jersey and the bandana. It was like that. It was like slow motion, just this iconic image of fucking Pablo Pew, Spidey, whatever you want to call him, just straight in this fool's face. Guy, I'm just like, oh, we're literally about to fight a wave of people. There's literally 50 or more people in the parking lot, and there's 4 of us and my ex-girlfriend in the car. And I am not exaggerating one bit. I'm like, oh shit. So I see the other homies. They kind of like, we're all like side-eyeing each other like, oh, like it's really on now. Like, what's going to happen next, you know? And then all of a sudden I see one of them spit too. Just spit into the crowd. And then we all start spitting into the crowd. We're like, fuck you guys are fucking bitch made. Like, what's up? You guys are pussy. And then like, they did nothing. They didn't do anything. We were like, I was just like, holy fucking shit. And I remember as soon they didn't do anything. But so what happened was they were standing there for so long just getting spit on, and we were just talking shit to them. They eventually started getting quiet, and like the whole crowd started kind of getting shook. And once you shake the crowd, nobody wants to do anything. I've been in a situation where I've been with like 5 dudes, and there was 3 people who rolled up to us, and because of the way the confrontation happened, they fucking robbed my homies. Well, not my homies, but they robbed like 1 or 2 of my homies. And it was kind of like, in hindsight, we could have, like, they had a knife, and we were just getting out of the swimming pool. Like, in hindsight, we could have done something to where if all of us had jumped into action, we could have handled the situation and it would have went the other way. But the way that we got approached and the way that, like, everybody got shook, it was like this, like, oh, fuck, like mentally, psychologically, they had gotten us. And that's where you get fucked up, is when you can psychologically get a collective of people. Nobody wants to be the guy to step up and get fucking knocked out by the 1 of 4 people who's willing to fight 1 out of 50. You know what I mean? So it's like, or even 50 out of 50. So nobody wants to be the hero in that scenario because the whole crowd gets shook, and it's like this blanket of scared comes over you. It's like what I'm imagining. Like, I've seen videos of like the World Trade Center blowing up, and like in my observation, it was like you see people first kind of like, what the fuck, like what's going on? They're like confused and observing, and then once you see people start assessing, then like you see them like the wave of panic comes over and they start running, and then all of a sudden other people, they don't even care what the assessment is, they just start running also. And it's just like everybody's just running, and you're like, everyone's just shook because it's terrifying. You don't know what's going on exactly, and you don't want to be the one dude to fucking go find out, so necessarily, you know. So it's kind of fascinating how that worked, and like they didn't do anything. So all of a sudden, what happened was like the school security drove around, and they start calling the cops and all this, and it just starts getting crazy. So we fucking jumped in the car and just fucking dipped out. But it was like, I could not believe that we did not get our asses kicked. Like, I've had a handful of instances where it was like me versus like a whole gang of people, and I didn't back down and I talked my shit and whatever. But it was nowhere near as impressive as that was. Like, that shit was, excuse me, was absolutely just next level. I was so fucking scared. But Pablo was just like, Heart, it doesn't matter if we get our ass beat. We stood for what was right. And I'm like, fuck. So it's like, that's part of also why I got mad love for my Mexican people. Like, not only are my kids Mexican, I'm not Mexican at all, but it's like, I got mad love for them. Like, I fight for you guys. Like, And you know what I mean? It's like, dude, at the same time, we all got to watch each other's back. It doesn't matter what fucking color or where we come from, whatever. But it's like, if you're proud to be Mexican, that's cool. Do that shit. I got you. I support you. Like, that's cool as fuck. If you're proud to be whatever the fuck you are, that's cool. Go do that. You know what I'm saying? But don't disrespect other people in the process. You could be proud to be white. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? You can have a lot of people be, shut the fuck up. Like, it's fine. If you're proud to be Italian, if you're proud to be Irish, if you're proud to be fucking Swedish, Norwegian, fucking whatever the fuck, Russian, like, those are all white people, but they all have their own culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the fuck you are, you could be from England, you could be proud, that's fine. You could be black, you could be Asian, Chinese, Japanese, you could be whatever the fuck you want, and that's fine, be proud. But don't be fucking disrespectful. Be proud by honoring your traditions and the teachings of your people and of the land and of the time. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. So I explained that story just to kind of like explain the heart that Pablo had. And when you have heart and the ability to just fucking stand up and lead by example, people will fucking go to war with you. And that's just fucking blowing my mind. I'm like, how do I assemble a team of people who are riders just down the fight for the cause for what I'm up to? Let's go to fucking war, but it's not like we're going to go fight. It's we're going to go transform the world in a positive way by teaching babies how to fucking save their lives, by providing peace of mind to families, by helping by changing the leading cause of accidental death in the world for kids. Like, that's my ultimate and grand mission. You know what I'm saying? That and making sure that we have the conversations that need to be had. It's like, if I do those things, and then obviously if I like contribute to my kids financially and spending time and all of that, like if I'm doing those things and that, if I'm doing all those things, I'm being a good dad because I'm leading by example. Who gives a fuck what people think? Go. Who gives a fuck what people think? Do it. It doesn't fucking matter what language you speak, where you're from, where you came from, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. I had a hard time adapting to like being like a bro looking dude and people relating to me as one versus being like a scary thugged out person. Like, it was hard. Like, my ego needed to insert that into like all the new meetings of people. I couldn't let people meet me as fresh, me, who I am and how they judge me right now. I had to make sure they understood that piece of me. And I realized that that's what's probably held me back from a lot of things, is like injecting all that shit into it. And it's like, your story doesn't really fucking matter. It's what you create by overcoming that story. Then the story matters. And I realize my story doesn't necessarily matter that much. It does a little bit because I've done some stuff, but I haven't really done anything. Like, I have, because each kid's life saved, or each family that has peace of mind with their kid, that really matters. That's very important, and that's life-changing for people and for myself. But at the same time, my mission's bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. And it's like, I've got to get in alignment with that. So I realized, dude, when you can just lead with heart to the fullest, it's like, you don't really give a fuck what people think. Yeah, I'm going to go fight fucking 50 dudes with two of my homies. Hey, Calvin, you down? Shit, all right, let's go. And that made me realize, holy fuck, I got heart like a motherfucker. I really am a warrior. I will die out here on this battlefield. And if I can take and harness that energy into saving kids' lives and catching up with messages and all this shit and just staying on top of it, I will be that much of a more potent warrior. But it's like, I've got to get my shit behind the scenes all in order, all my ducks in a row, or whatever the fuck it's called, in order to do that and lead effectively. And it's interesting because like life has hit the hard reset button. You know, it got hit on my life majorly. It's like I'm in the fucking brand new, I got a tiny ass apartment. Everything's like new to me right now. Like, I have never been in the situation that I'm in. I've got kids. I got a relationship that didn't work. Like, that's not what I'm carrying around, but it's like that had happened, and that's part of this newness, I should say. So it's like really interesting to see where I can go and what I can do with this reset that's happened, you know? And it's like, I've got to get everything in order, all the way down to like, I have boxes of papers that are in storage and stuff. And it's like, I've got to go and get those all cleared out. Like, I realized I need to go through every single piece of my life, every cabinet, every drawer, every box, every bag, and just kind of like reset and refresh and like hit the renew button so I can just be clear, more clear in life and ready to like do shit and ready to act and create my team. So it's like, my house isn't full of clutter. Whoever can come over at any time and it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, shit's in order. Sometimes it's not, but that's what I'm striving for, you know? Excuse me. So I say all those stories to get to this too, which is the story of the hunt. So for those of you like really from like Mira Mesa area, you guys know what's up with the old haunted jukebox that was at Rigobertos on Miramar Road.
Damn, dude.
You guys know. That jukebox, it would just fucking be like randomly fire up and it's playing some fucking like crazy Mexican song. And then like it would just shut off and you're like, what the fuck? And then it would turn on and then it'd be like, here comes the man in black. And then you're like, what the fuck? And then it would play like 6 songs and it'd be like AC/DC and then like some other shit and then like Tupac and you're like, the fuck is going on with this thing? But it would just turn off and then it would turn on and it would be like a new song. It would shut off halfway in the middle of a song, turn on and be halfway into a new song. It was like, it was funny. Like sometimes you could just what I think was happening was like, excuse me. I think people would put quarters in and they would all get stuck and get like backed up in it somewhere. And then I think they would just fall through and then like whatever song selections people made from like a week back, it had just collected all those quarters and then like one would just fall in and then it would just pick up playing the song and then like, it was weird, dude. But anyway, so, fuck, man. This is a crazy story. So, what I want to paint is the picture of Pablo's heart and who he was, right? Like I said, he did poetry. He would stand up for anybody. He was willing to just ride or die, truly, do or die, always. Stand up for whoever, no matter what are the odds. Stand up for himself, no matter what are the odds. And there was this day, I remember, he found that he was going to have a baby. His girl was pregnant. And she ended up having a miscarriage. And I remember I picked him up from his ex's house that night that he found out. And I'm driving him back up to Mira Mesa. And I had never seen him so sad. Because like I said, it's like to know Pablo was to see him interact with kids. Like he didn't care that he was young. He didn't care. He didn't have this or that. He was like, he was going to make it fucking happen. He was going to make it work. He was so good with kids, dude. It was unbelievable. Like all the younger kids have such good memories and impressions of him, you know? And yeah, man, like he was just devastated, dude. Like I remember he got in my truck and he was just fucking crying. And he had explained to me on the phone before I'd picked him up. So when I picked him up, I already knew what was going on. And I was just like silent. I'm just like, fuck, I'm sorry, man. Like, you know, just fucking like give him a hug. Like, what can you even say, you know? He was devastated, man. Broke my heart. I mean, his heart was broken and that broke my heart. And like, we just like, I was like, bro, like, I don't know what, man, but like, let's go get something to eat. So we go to Rigobertos. And he's just processing the whole thing and he's just cried it all. He's crying for like fucking 25 minutes on the drive up. And when you see a real gangster fucking cry, a real warrior fucking cry, it hits different. It hits way different. Which I should have gave you guys the music homework. Andre Nicotina, Gangster Cry. That song fucking fucks me up, dude. Because that takes me back to the first time I saw a gangster cry. Anyway, I've told that story before, but maybe we'll touch on it later. Anyway, it was just the craziest, heaviest, saddest thing I can like recall, you know? One of them anyway. And we go to the Mexican shop, we're ordering their food, and I see him, he's not like talking to himself, but he's like thinking himself through different thoughts. Excuse me. Because like sometimes he would kind of be in his own world, that he would just go down like deep rabbit holes of thinking about stuff. He was really smart, like crazy intelligent, and you would never guess he knew the shit he knew. Like he was a fucking trip, dude. So I see him, he's just working himself through these situations in his head and just having these conversations in his head with these thoughts and all this. And we're sitting at the table just waiting for food, and he stops and he looks up at me. He's like, man, I it's gonna be okay, you know? And he's like, I gotta do something. And I was like, the fuck? Because he was still like really serious, but he's like, I gotta do something. And I was like, all right. And he walks up and he goes to the jukebox and he fucking puts money in it. And he puts, and keep in mind, he's all hard, almost like tough looking and all this shit back in the day. And back in the day, Rigobertos was always packed. Like, always. It didn't matter if it was fucking like 1:30 in the afternoon or like 11 in the morning or fucking 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. There was always people. But he goes to the jukebox and puts on fucking Getting Jiggy With It by Will Smith. And I was like, what? I look up and I saw that he went there. I was like, because he went over there all serious, you know? But he went over and I see him at the jukebox and he kind of looks over and he kind of like smirks at me. And I'm like, the fuck? Puts on Getting Jiggy With It. And he just starts dancing and like hopping and like spinning in circles, dancing back through, like weaving through the tables back, and sits there. And he's just like, yeah, man, like, so what's up with you, bro? And I was just like,
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
and like later we talked about it and he's just like, I just had to work through it and accept it, basically. Like he said in his own words, but that was what I took from it. And I was just like, bro, you are fucking something else, dude. Oh, shit, man. Pablo was something else, dude. We're just going to take a real quick break and we'll be right back. And then we're going to get into one last thing and then some music homework and au revoir.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
What's good, everybody? Welcome, bicycle, tricycle, and unicycle. Yo. Oh, fuck. I could just keep going with stories of Pablo, dude. Like, he was just such a heroic, just do or die, ride or die, down as fuck type of person. But just to kind of cap off this last story, to see, because he was so poetic, so deep inside, like, he was not afraid to look stupid or to look dumb or to look silly or foolish or whatever. He just didn't care how you perceived him. He would just make jokes about him being Mexican all the time. He would take it far too. Like he would literally show up with the homie and jump out of the truck and just mow your lawn and then like run away. And like, I'm not kidding. He would call it drive-bys. He'd be like, hey homie, you want to go do some drive-bys? I'm like, nah, bro, I don't want to do this shit. He'd be like, nah, bro, it's so funny. Like you just jump out, you do a drive-by, mow their lawn and just fucking run away. I was like, bro, you are so weird. What are you talking about? But I put that on everything. That he used to do that shit all the time. And most of me and the homies had trucks. So like he would just toss it in the back and fucking just, he'd be like, why is somebody mowing my lawn? And then like he'd come and be like, that was Pablo. And be like, do we owe him money? Like, nah, like I'm Mexican. I like to do this shit. He would say that shit. We would just be fucking dying laughing, dude. He would do this shit all the time. I was like, bro, it was funny, like, but it kept being funny. He just kept rolling with it. It is what it is. But he just had that spirit. He had such a heart where it was like he absorbed all the pain and he just felt through all of it. He just let himself be miserable. And then he's like, all right, like, now it's time to fucking dance and put on a fucking silly ass song. And I was so embarrassed sitting there, but I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, like, you know what I'm saying? It was, oh, Pablo was something else, man. So, you guys, appreciate you guys. This has been quite the episode, man. I fucking love talking about pubes. I'll talk about him again probably on when we get to that show, whenever July 18th comes around. Whether it's the closest Monday or Thursday, we'll put a podcast out for that. And today's music homework is some old school San Diego gangster shit. This is where Pablo was from. We used to bump this shit nonstop. I still bump this shit. But this is called 619 Hoodlumz. Hoodlumz. 619, the number 619. Some San Diego shit. That's the OG area code, San Diego, Dago, Mecca well, no, this isn't Mecca. These guys are from like Waptown. But anyways, Amici Park, all that. 619 Hoodlumz. I do not own the rights or anything to the song. I'm just a fan. This was one of Pablo's favorite songs of all times. He would just slap the shit nonstop. So in your honor, Pews, happy birthday. Rest in peace. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your gift of your life and your wisdom and your adventure and your courage and your spirit and your heart. Thank you. Here it is, 619 Hoodlumz. Ain't a damn thing changed.
Be and me, what's that? Cause San Diego's where the gangsters at. Ain't a damn thing changed. Nothing changed. Still love the
Gang bang.
I still bang.
The heart that we hang. What town's what we claim. Where we gonna stay?
That's how we stay.
The very last day. Fuck what you say. Mind at ease. Jeez. Woo! That is. Whoa, sorry. I did not mean to blast your ears, guys.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
I did not realize I clicked the setting over already. My bad, guys. My bad. But that was 619 Hoodlumz. Ain't a damn thing changed. That shit goes hard. Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys. This has been quite a episode. It's been pretty long, pretty vulnerable, pretty real, all that. So, appreciate you guys. Please make sure you tell your mom to tell a friend, to tell a dog, to tell a relative, to tell a trainer, to tell a service dog, to tell a FBI dog, to tell a drug dog, to tell a CIA agent, to tell a coconut salesman, to tell a brother, to tell a mother, to tell his father, to tell his brothers, uncles, daddy's dad about the Damn Dude podcast. Appreciate you guys. Please leave us a 5-star written review wherever you can. And as always,
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
this has been and will be and continues to be the Damn Dude podcast. Much love. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.